Welcome to the Excellent Podcast. I am your cinematic host, STEFON WHITAKER, the head honcho of SW Films. And today we have another special guest here on the pod. We got the man who I've been seeing whooping every type of ass out there in Fort Wayne, Indiana, my born city. Also, I would call home outside of Angola, Indiana. But this man has been killing people out there, man. Legally killing them. So I want to welcome Jerrod Brutus Winston to the podcast, man. Thank you for being here. How you doing, brother?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank
you. Yeah, man. Thank you for being here. Like I said, man, I've been watching your kind of career and just things that you've been doing online on Facebook right now. And I forget how I even may have came across your page or anything like that. You know, like I know that you probably don't know too much about me besides maybe things you might see from film stuff, all the type of shit I do on, online. But, I think I was born in Fort Wayne, but I'm from Angola, Indiana. And I have a lot of different people in connects in Fort Wayne that, of course, that I know and, talk to and everything like that. And I think maybe it's obviously through somebody from there is how I found your page. And then I've just been seeing all the highlights, man. You've been really fucking a lot of people up. And especially because Fort Wayne, I don't know, we'll get into that. I don't know if Fort Wayne's a big, like, into that market of fighting. I feel like it might be. I mean, you obviously you'll be able to answer that. But, just seeing you do it, it's been really fucking just, like there's always a few different people back in Fort Wayne that have like this sort of this prowess to them, this kind of like upper echelon. And I think you're in that list. Like you got like Jalen Smith, of course. You got a couple other different people who are, from sports backgrounds and music backgrounds. And I think you are kind of in that same exact space in terms of just like you have a path I know that you're going to, and you're getting closer and closer to reaching it as you continue on through your career. So but I'm gonna let you talk to it, man. I just want you to introduce yourself, speak to your excellence, and let everybody know who you are.
All right, my name is Jerrod. My name is Brutus Winston. Like you said, I'm born and raised in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm one of the top ranked fighters out of Indiana. I have fought all over the country: Vegas, Maine, Virginia, South Bend, Indiana, Nebraska. You name it, I've been there. I fought there and got down. I won my first amateur fight, lost 3 in a row, and then I've been winning ever since. And now I'll be fighting again in March to win my 9th fight in a row to continue my win streak. And then I've did 2 kickboxing matches, won those by domination, all three fights. I mean, all 3 rounds. And it's been a limited process.
Man, that's crazy. So I want to get into it, man. Like, I have a lot of different questions here. Some questions might get to, some might not, just depending on the time. But I want to, of course, just get into how did you actually get into the sport of MMA? Like, what I guess to add that, like that question, but also to add along to it, like, what was your upbringing like in Fort Wayne? I mean, it has to be something to get into like fighting professionally. That has to be something, a story there. You know what I mean?
All righty. Well, to be honest with you, I met my coach in my senior year of high school, and I told him I wanted to go to the WWE, like Brock Lesnar does. Yeah,
yeah.
And so he said, "Well, I have an MMA gym. Check it out." And I said, "All right, bet. I'll check it out." I checked it out in November 2013, and I've been going ever since. Fell in love with it, fell in love with the people, my coaches, and then just like training hard and all different moves, all different techniques. And then one day I said, "You done get a fight in?" One day he said, "Yeah, just keep training hard." And then 2018, I got my first MMA fight. October 2018 to be exact. I won that first round. And then before that, I didn't do no wrestling. I played football at Snyder High School. My junior and senior high school, I played football. Surprisingly, I didn't play much because I had a 2.5 month concussion. So that took me out my senior year of high school. So that was terrible. And ever since then, I just found this path, and I've been grinding on ever since. Some people went to college. I went to the Fight Lab. Well, now it's the Fight Lab. It was Lee Bruce Mission Academy. Then it was Lee Bruce MMA. Now it's the Fight Lab.
Okay, cool. So damn. So okay. So you basically found you kind of found it when you were in high school. Was there ever like so first I want to start with the football background. First of all, where'd you go to school at in Fort Wayne?
I went to Snyder High School.
Okay, Snyder, which is heavily known as like a prestigious football school for sure, football
Facts.
program and everything too. So like was there like a goal at first where you wanted to kind of take football to a certain level, or that kind of changed after the concussion?
I did because I wanted to use that for a scholarship to go to college, and then
Mm,
that plan had failed through. So, and then
yeah,
yeah, I met my coach one day in my senior year of high school, and he was a substitute teacher, honestly, and he told
yeah,
me he had an MMA gym. I said, really? He said, yeah, come check it out. He showed me a little commercial back in the day, which was hilarious. They were moving washers and dryers, and bags were hanging off the walls. I said, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all a chance because y'all seem funny as hell. And
yeah,
Lord me tell they are literally funny and weird as hell.
yeah. Damn. Okay, so like with the first of all, just getting introduced to that, I imagine was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Especially because like, of course, wrestling. Obviously there's wrestling and stuff like that too. Did you ever end up doing that at all in high school?
Nope.
Nah. Yeah. So like, okay. So it's crazy because I feel like I don't know too many fighters, at least not too many like MMA fighters, and there's always like a very interesting like background in terms of like, okay, they was fighting all their life growing up, and all that type of stuff. Did you at all, did that ever come into your play? Did you ever have any like legit fights growing up when you were a kid or anything like that kind of maybe help say, you know what, I feel like I would actually like to whip people's ass legally, you know?
Yeah, yes. I got in a few street fights. I got jumped before. I did some
Man,
karate.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I got in a few street fights. I used to get bullied. So yeah, that's when I did karate. And then from there, I said, you know what, this is pretty fun because I used to have like not really problems, but like a lot of anger built inside me from frustration and different things like that.
yeah,
So I turned that negativity into a positive with arts, which
yeah,
is MMA.
yeah. Nah, so like, so tell me a little bit about how when you first got into this gym, which you said was the Fight Lab, but then you said it's now Lee Brothers, right? Lee Brothers MMA.
Oh no, no. So at first it was Libra Submission Academy,
Okay.
and then it was Libra's MMA, and now it's the Fight Lab by
Okay.
Libros.
Okay. So tell me about when you first got in there and you were just training. I don't know if you had already like if like the guy that brought you in, the teacher, if he told you like, all right, we're gonna get you ready for a fight. Like what was it when you first got in there? Like what was the plan? Like did you even think that you were gonna be taking this serious at that time? Or was it just like I'm just gonna, kind of do it in my free time and kind of figure out just what happens from there?
Okay, I'm gonna throw another curveball at you. So when I first got there, the gym was in the back of a church.
Oh damn. That's a definite curveball. Damn.
Yeah,
Oh man, I know God didn't like that. He was like, what the hell y'all
right.
doing?
What y'all doing in my house right here?
Yeah.
But no, so when I got there, it was the biggest guy in the room. Knowing me, I'm not scared of anybody. So I said, hey, you wanna go a few rounds? He said, sure. And he told me that he shattered some guy's jaw and win his last fight. I said, oh, okay, so I
Yeah.
gotta definitely keep my hands up, or that's what happened to my jaw. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we were it was a successful first round. It was just boxing. I got a bloody nose, but I loved it though, because I was like, dang, this is actually pretty fun. I loved
Yeah.
I fell in love with it like automatically. So yeah, and then my second time when I went there, I didn't know my coach had a twin brother, but who's like the exact
Yeah.
opposite with a lot of more energy. I said, who the
Hmm.
hell is this? What is going on here? I said, Mike, one of my old teammates back in the day who's no longer in the city. He said, no, that's not Mike. That's Chris Lee. I said, oh, okay, I can tell because they look a little bit different, but they look a lot similar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
so I love my coaches and team.
Yeah. So I mean, when was it? I guess when did the conversation come to where it was like, okay, look, we've done a couple sparring, we've done a couple training. Let's get you actually in the ring to fight somebody, and to kind of start what your overall score, would be like this one, right? You hope you're going to start off 0-0. and then eventually, like you said, want to know, like, what was the conversation like, and how did you prepare yourself for that?
I just started being great in the gym. Like, my defense got great, my jiu-jitsu was good, my boxing was good, and then I was like, so you think I can get a fight lined up? Because I've been doing this for a while. I feel pretty good. I feel good about it. He said, yeah, it's got to work on one thing: my wrestling. My wrestling was terrible,
Mm,
and so one day he got his state no college wrestler, and he flew him out for I think from Nebraska. He was a national wrestler
mm,
champion. I didn't know who he was. Did not know what he looked like, and so there's another guy who's fought Bellator in the UFC. And I'd assume this is the guy that he wanted me to go with because one, he was a heavyweight. And I was like,
hmm
oh, okay, so this guy I'm supposed to go with. Come to find out, that was another guy I got supposed to go with. I gave my butt toss and turn every which way. I said, damn, this is not fun. I get
Yeah.
my ass whipped right now, ladies and gentlemen. But no, he said, well, you got the wrong person. I said, what? He said, yeah, the guy I want you to go with is a lot smaller. He's over here. His name was Danny Galletto, something like that. Great guy, great wrestler. Got my wrestling basics down under me. I got to learn how to sprawl, got to learn how to stop takedowns and throw people off me. And so ever
Yeah.
since then, my wrestling's got a little bit better. And maybe my next fight, you might see me take somebody down.
Okay. So when you got all prepared and you finally got into your first fight, what was your first like fight, and what was like, could you like share your approach to like what like I guess how you went into the fight, like what was your plan, and like in general what was like things that your coaches told you? And first of all, who was the person? Like, just share that experience for us.
Ooh, I think his name was Damien. Uh, that's funny. My coach, my manager name is Damien Rodriguez. It's funny. I just realized that. But no, so back then we flew from Chicago to Nebraska, which was a fun
Mm-hmm.
little trip because man, that was long. And then like Nebraska's like pretty much a plain area, very boring.
Just like
But
Indiana. Pretty
yeah,
much.
but
Yeah.
Indiana has a lot more things to do. But I was in North Platte, Nebraska has nothing. Like it's kind of like Vegas, but a lot smaller. It has more. Vegas has a lot more things to do. North Platte does not. It's like maybe a few blocks of things to do, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's like empty. And so yeah, we get out there. We get out in the mountains. We're like training at a different high altitude. And so, yeah, we're like running, we're staying active for the fight. Oh, sheesh, that was a while ago too. I'm trying to think about it. Yeah, I'm out in the mountain, just control my breathing because like in Nebraska, the altitude is like different from this in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we get out there to Nebraska. We're training, we're staying active. We get out into the mountains as well. It's called
Yeah.
Guardians of the Gods as well. So we're out there
Oh,
training.
yep. Yep.
I'm like, dang, it's a lot of training, dude. And we fight the next day. And so the crazy part, so we go for like from there, from training in the mountains, we go to back in the city for like the face off. I said, what in the world's going on here? I'm tall, I'm like big as hell.
Yeah.
This man's like maybe 5'8". I said, damn, this man's short. And he kind of
Yeah.
I'm trying to make fun of people. I don't want to make fun of people, but he kind of reminded me like he was autistic, but he wasn't though.
Damn.
I said, damn,
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad. They said they had me fighting someone who's special needs. I went to my first fight in Nebraska. I said, Lord have mercy, pray for me, Lord. And so, yeah,
Wait,
I
wait,
got the
hold
job
on.
done.
For real? The dude was actually special needs?
No, no, no,
Oh,
no.
I was
He
about to
didn't
say,
fight.
God. I was like, dude, you better atone for them sins right now, boy. What the fuck? That's funny. Okay,
We already
but okay, yeah, yeah.
remember we was already in church praying, preparing for this fight now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all fighting in the back of a church. Y'all fighting, like, boy, they done set you up for failure, homie. No, but okay, nah.
On top of that, was a black crime too.
Yeah, damn.
I said, come on, man.
So I mean, well, first off, that's a
But no,
cool experience though that you get to first of all travel for that first flight or first fight. You know what I mean? And just like
yeah,
being able to do it. So when you got there and you seen this dude and you actually fought, did it feel did it feel like you had like I feel like the only way to I guess to explain it is like did it feel like the training that you had did beforehand and then actually getting out there and fighting this first person, did it feel like you had kind of almost surpassed like those first moments of your training? Like you felt like you were when you got in the ring, you felt like you were at your very best at that point.
I can say yes because like everything that partake in the fight in the first 3 minutes. Well, yeah, the first fight was 3 minutes, and like everything that happened in that fight, and everything we did, we went over in training, from wrestling, from jiu-jitsu, from standing up and fighting, from me doing like a flying karate kick, which did not land, which I've been trying to do ever since my first fight. Uh, everything that happened in the fight, we definitely went over in training. So
Yeah.
everything happened in fight camp, definitely partake in those first 3 minutes of that fight.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then you won. And what did that feel like for you, man, when you actually won that first fight? Like, and I'm sure obviously that was a big celebration for you and for your team. Like, how did that feel?
It felt amazing. Yeah, we flew back here. We got some food. I forget where we went to afterwards. I think we started at Wendy's. We got some
That's
food.
what, yeah.
It was either Wendy's or Applebee's.
Yeah.
I got a quesadilla burger, and it was a great time. Damn near cried after the fight because a lot of hard work had built up from that fight.
Yeah.
I told my best friends at the time, I said, "Hey, I won first round." They were all happy for me. Believe it or not, I did not want to tell my mom what I was doing because to this day, she is not a fan of me fighting, but
No,
she
yeah.
supports stuff. And
Yeah.
so I definitely told her. She was very thankful that and happy that I won.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
No,
sir.
that's dope, man. I mean, yeah, and that's a question I have in here later on the time, just about how you doing this now has affected maybe like some of the close people to you. But that's great, man. So in terms of that, when you won that first fight, I know that you had mentioned that the next three fights after that you said were losses. What first of all, what was the approach now after that first fight that you won? Like I'm sure it was consistent training, and kind of getting ready for the next few people that you were fighting. But tell me, I guess what moments led up to those three different fights, and I guess how did those transpire? What was that moment like? Those moments like?
Okay. So I'm gonna backtrack right quick because like you said, like what are those moments like? I wasn't like after that first fight, I wasn't as all in as I am now because I have a brother who is an artist who's like great in music. I said, you know what? I can try
Mm-hmm.
to do this and be in this corner at the same time. And like
Mm-hmm.
how should I say this? Like I was more supportive and like more involved with his career than I was my own because I didn't know like my path at the time. And so I decided to help him more of his I want to say rap career because he's more of a rap. He's not just a rapper. He's an artist. He writes, he
Mm-hmm.
sings, he dances, he does the producing, all that. So I said, no
Mm-hmm.
what? How about I can use his career as a backup plan for my own? Like maybe use whatever money he wants to give me for being me a chef.
Mm-hmm.
And then after those three losses, I had to look in the mirror, like truly look in the mirror, because he moved out to Atlanta, Georgia. I said, no what? If you really want to do it, you got to be all in because people actually die in a ring/cage. And so I had to give this my
Yeah.
all and like be all in with this to get better, not from all of myself, but everyone who's looking up to me and counting on me to be better and be a better fighter. And so ever since then, that switch had changed. Back in, I want to say, our Artist Craft 4, we start the win streak since then. I've been
Mm.
being undefeated. And
Yeah.
so I just had to like believe in myself and believe in my coaches and believe in my work ethic and just do what I'm coached to do.
Yeah. So I want to go back to something that you said that I feel like is important. You feel like you said that you were still trying to figure out your path. Do you feel like after that first fight, like did it click that it's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do as a career, or did it feel like still that you just didn't know after that first one?
I would say I still didn't know because like, and I received some money, but I didn't realize that amateur fighters did not get paid. And
Mm.
so I was like, oh, well, that's hurtful. My coach was like, you know, if
Right.
you don't amateurs fight, they don't get paid. You only get paid for like traveling. Which when we did, we didn't travel. Like we got flown out there. My coaches they took care of that, so I had to pay them back. And so I was like, oh,
Damn.
okay. And so yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, so maybe this is not it for me. This is not. I should be all in with this. But crazy part is, I still kept training. And I said, I never really quit. I just kept going with emotions, if that makes sense. Going
Yeah.
with the flow. So now this is like literally it. I go to work, I go to the gym, and I sleep. And then like I might go like out, but like not party or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so within those three fights, um, how do you think, I guess, how do those fights, first of all, how do you feel those about those fights now? And also, I guess, do you like what do you think could have changed in those losses? And also, which is a good question to maybe show a little bit of humility too, is like, do you feel like you feel like those three losses were necessary in your to who you are now and like where you're heading?
I definitely do feel they were necessary because you don't know who you really are until you lose. You don't learn from winning, you learn from losing. And
Hmm.
so my second fight, I fought in Vegas. I was a little timid and like scared because he was a Hawaiian and it was also big. He got his whole
Yeah.
family out there. And they were doing like their I want to say war cry, but I forget what like the exact term for it is.
Yeah.
And so that kind of like freaked me out, put me on edge. I was like, damn, y'all
Yeah.
came in full force. I'm gonna see with
Yeah.
my teammates and coaches. And I'm the only one fighting right now. So I was
Yeah.
a little bit afraid in that fight. So
Mm.
that fight, and then the next one I got unfortunately we went on 3 rounds. I was by the judges. And then the next one we went back to Nebraska and I unfortunately got knocked out in that fight. So I
Hmm.
said, yeah, we should definitely get better. And then the third fight, I lost inside my gym at 2020, either one or 20. I don't remember because it was like the first art scrap. And
Hmm.
then my decision, we went all through the round. I feel like I got robbed that fight. But ever since
Mm.
then, though, I told myself never put your fight in the judge's hands because you can always get screwed. And so you have to finish the fight yourself. And then you have to control the fight. And so
Right.
ever since then, I decided, you know what? I control the outcome and I have to pressure forward and be free and be first.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's huge. I mean, like you said, like
Yes, sir.
you only learn from losses. You don't learn from the wins. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a big one.
Correct.
I wanna get into a little bit of just like more of the training, the regimen that you have to work with. Like what is that typical regimen and training like for you as a fighter? You know what I mean? Because for me, right, the sports I played football, I played rugby. I never there was almost a moment where I had some homies wanted to get me into wrestling, maybe like my senior year, but I was just kind of like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And then as far as fights, all of my fights that I ever had in my entire life, maybe like growing up, maybe like fighting some cousins and shit, or like fighting during in sports. You know what I mean? But I was not into no street fights,
Yeah.
none of that kind of shit. But so what is like a typical training regimen look like for you?
Sheesh. For me, so on Mondays, it's like pretty much a chill day because I just do my own cardio, my own shadow boxing, and Planet Fitness, Planet Barney, if you will. I go
Hmm.
there solo with all the just community people, and then I on Tuesdays I have like if you want to say 2 days, I have weightlifting for my team in the morning, and I come back around 4 o'clock. I coach until about 5:30, and then I have Muay Thai, Jiu Jitsu, and then I am coaching slash training myself doing boxing at the end of the night. And then on Wednesdays, I go to Planet Fitness, do my own cardio, and I go to the lab and get some Muay Thai rounds in. I have some Jiu-Jitsu rounds, and on Wednesdays go back to I have break, go back to the gym around 4 o'clock, and then coach, and then Jiu-Jitsu rounds at the end of the night. Thursday, weightlift still going weightlifting,
Yeah.
and then I go to work. I come back, and then I coach lights out boxing, and then get up rounds, and then probably hop in and first the odd number in. I hop into myself, get some more training. And Fridays, I'm supposed to rest, but I'm doing more cardio.
Yeah.
Saturdays, back in the gym again because it's my life. Sundays,
Yeah.
I'm definitely resting today.
Damn. So you
Yes,
really
sir.
have like one rest day then throughout the week, it seems like. Man.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean,
I'm either
so
work or gym.
yeah, so does that regimen, is that typical for when like you're preparing yourself for a fight, or is that just like what you try to do daily no matter what?
That's daily, but like say if I'm in fight camp,
Yeah.
I'm I go to work later on Mondays. So like usually I'm supposed to go to work at 11. Fortunately for myself, I have a coworker who wants more hours. So I was like, hey, if you let me come, can you working for me until about 1 or 2 o'clock in the evening time? I mean afternoon, I can train more, and then that
Yeah.
way I can get more training sessions or hours in the gym. So she's okay with that.
Cool. Like you work at like a regular job, like just like some like 9 to 5, like
Yep,
yeah.
I'm a cook. Yep, I'm cook for
Okay.
retirement home.
Okay, cool. So yeah, okay, retirement home. So nobody is like they might be worried and scared, like, yo, Gerard might whip our ass if we piss him off real quick.
Really? My
They get
manager said,
scared.
funny story about this. I got another one for you. And so, right quick, my manager before he stepped down, he had we met at the gym. We
Yeah.
were sparring, and I knocked him on the ground. He said, "Damn, you can hit." I said, "Yes, I can." And then fast forward, they need another cook. They know I could cook. They
Yeah.
said, "Hey, we got the guy in Brutus who can really cook." He said, "Bring him in now." And like ever
Yeah.
since then, I've been there for about 3 years. He said, "Yeah, he's a MMA fighter. He can uh he can actually fight fights. Don't
Yeah.
piss him off." They said, "God, Roger that."
Yeah. That's funny. So damn, the manager was out there actually sparring and shit too. And then that's funny. So like
He felt the
with
power.
yeah. So I mean with how do you balance your training and like your personal life commitments? How has that been for you? I mean, especially Monday through Saturday, it seems like you're completely busy doing training, in the gym, and just and work and everything. But how do you balance that and then life, with everything you got going on?
Um, as a professional fighter slash no, as a professional fighter, you have to make a lot of sacrifices in life. Like I don't really go out to parties. I don't go to birthdays. I don't really celebrate hang on with family that much or like celebrate Christmas because I might literally focus in on a gym or my gym family because this is it. It's like no plan B. This is plan A and like no backup plan. So I'm like
Yeah,
literally focus on this. There's like no outside distractions. Yes, like sometimes like around the time, like damn, all you people online look good with your significant others. I'm like damn. Well, I'm going back to the gym tomorrow.
yeah,
Like let some of this emotion out. So
hmm
I know like it does suck sometimes seeing like people like starting families and getting married, having kids. I'm like, dang, I can't wait for that day to happen. Right now, I'm just gonna focus on this until I reach my goals of getting like the best and everything I can out of my body and out of this
yeah.
career, which is my career is really starting to take off in 2025.
For sure, man. I mean, definitely, I imagine a lot of that, building up connections and relationships. Part of it could be easy and part of it can't be because, you start to get people who want to be opportunists a lot of time too. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I want to fuck with Gerard because, he can fuck around and, be this type of star one day. I've had that in my life a lot in the last, I mean, since I moved to California, probably in the last five years, but that's when you really start to, of course, pick that team who's really going to ride with you. Um,
Literally. That's why I
But
have 8 best friends, and
yeah,
they've been down with me since day one. If I don't see that, I can like I go off vibes and people's energy, and I can tell like you're like a snake or like you're just there for or a gold digger, which I've been used before in the past, and I can like, you know what, you're not the right person for me, or like not the right type of energy I want around me. I'm
yeah,
like, bye, Felicia, cut it off.
yeah, yeah. You don't want to get no chick that want to fight you too. You know what
Exactly, because I'm like,
I
listen here,
mean?
I'm not going to prison or jail because I see that so many times. Because ladies like, oh, you a fighter? Let me see you fight me then, or I get my brothers to fight me. So I'm like, no, I'm
Yeah,
cool. I
crazy.
don't like that much. I don't like that type of notoriety around myself or around my name. Like I
Yeah,
feel like my name is
yeah,
like very important because like once you, some people like try to tarnish your name and bring you down and bring that negativity on you. I don't need that about me.
yeah,
I'm just a chill guy
yeah.
until I'm in the cage.
Right. Nah, for real. Okay, so adding to your schedule a little bit more, what is nutrition like for you? What is your nutrition like in terms of your schedule, in terms of how you train and everything like that? Like, and especially you're a cook. You said that you cook and everything too. So like, I assume that you'd be really prepping up a lot then for that, huh?
Oh yeah. Crazy part is I don't really do like meal prepping. Like say like at work we have like something good and healthy nutritious there, right? So that's when I'll eat something good that's really good for me. But like I try to cut off fried foods and try up sweets because like not many people know this about me because I try to live a private life.
Yeah.
I almost had what do you call it? Um a stroke back in
Oh shit.
January. Yeah, literally.
Oh, this
Career,
year.
yeah. Career almost over with. Like literally after my birthday, I'm like, damn. I was like, I'm at work. I'm like, damn, something don't feel right. Kind of find out my blood pressure was like in the 200s.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they say, well, sir, you almost died. You almost didn't met the Lord today before one of our residents. I said, yeah, I
Yeah.
bet so. Shit. And so ever since then, back in January, I said, you know what? I'm going to change my health and change my eating ways. And so I lost 40 pounds and kept it off since. And then I have not been like eating nothing terribly that's bad for my body. Unless like unfortunately I'm on vacation. Not like I didn't indulge, but I don't eat anything fried foods. If I do anything terrible for me, I go run about I don't know 7 to 11 miles while I'm on
Wow.
vacation. Yeah,
Wow. Wow. That's crazy, man. I mean, yeah, blood, especially in black men, but that high blood pressure is like unfortunately just kind of stricken throughout a lot of black men. I know for me, I do have high blood pressure. I'm not diabetic, but my mom and my brother are diabetic, so it's like, you have that kind of hereditary shit too that goes into it that plays a big part. So like, yeah, watching the stuff you eat is super important. Like I know for me, man, like shit, I can't even try to sugarcoat it. I definitely don't eat the greatest. You know what I mean? I'm happy I got a fiance that cooks all the shit that I should be eating and just
praise
cooks,
God.
yeah, just cooks good food in general. For me, I think my big issue is like snacking a lot, is that thing. Like, and then for me, in terms of like when I go work out, I try to just, put in as much work as I can when I'm working out and just, like sweat it all out. Or like I like to hike. There's a lot of great hiking spots in California. So like if for me, the
Nice.
hiking is kind of what I use as cardio. Or sometimes there's like I live in Long Beach, California, but like they got little bikes you can rent right around the beach sometimes a little bit. That's a
I
little bit
love
more
that.
rare, but hiking and shit is kind of like what I use a lot for like the fucking um just cardio and just it's really like almost like a full body workout. Some of the hikes that you do. But like, I know there was a time where I had high blood pressure like a motherfucker, and then I did like what I call conditioning week, which is like you hike 5 miles for 5 days. You go to the gym afterwards. You have a kind of a set. I have like a set nutritional kind of meal plan, like for breakfast, lunch, dinner kind of thing. And then I do like a little bit of recovery, like with the Epsom salts in the bath and kind of shit, depending on the hikes that I'm doing. Some of the hikes, there's some of those hot 5 mile hikes can be really hard, and some of them are like, kind of chill. But I did that maybe like two different times, 2 different weeks. I did that during like COVID, and then I came back to Indiana, went to my family doctor back there, and my blood pressure was like the best it had ever been after fucking just kind of just hiking consistently throughout the times that
Praise
we were
God.
down for COVID. You know what I mean? And I was like, damn, okay, that was good. But of course, like the nutrition plan, bro, is the hardest for me. It's the hardest fucking thing. It's the hardest thing.
It literally is.
You know, like for
Especially,
you, what was the thing that you felt like you had to cut out that you like really fucking enjoyed, or something that you made that you really loved to eat that you just had to kind of stop eating that was kind of tough?
I stopped eating like BS foods. Like one time, I'm at work. I said, "Damn, we got donuts right now. Hmm. Let me make me a double cheeseburger on a donut right quick."
Oh man.
And yeah, that was
Yeah.
not my best idea, but it was good though.
I know, yeah, yeah.
If I would have died, I would have died a happy man right there. But no, it was good. Just like I just stopped eating like bad foods, like stuff like that, processed or like store bought like Twinkies and all that
Yeah.
BS desserts. If I'm gonna get some desserts, I'm gonna actually like go to a bake shop where I know it's like, okay, it's about to be worth it right here. And then
Yeah, yeah.
I don't eat that
That's
much
real.
candy like I used to because I'm like, dang, candy is good, but it's like not good for you or good for the body. Uh, I'm not a big pork eater unless like bacon, but I'm thinking about even cutting that out too because like
Mm,
that's not even good for you at all. So like you just gotta watch what you eat and like make sure it's like not high in sodium. Because one
mm.
time a couple years ago before I even started fighting, it was after Thanksgiving. I'm like, dang, why do I have this headache still? And I was like, I'm having like for like 5 days straight. I could not shake this headache. Come to
Yeah,
find out, blood pressure was high, and I had ham for Thanksgiving. I said, dang,
yeah.
I love ham. But ever since then, I said, no, no more ham for me because of high blood pressure. So I cut it out.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah.
mean, that's important too. Like, yeah, there's certain kinds of meats. Like, I know pork. I'm not a big pork person either. Like, I like hot dogs and shit like that. Ham. I've never really cared for ham or like,
That's
certain
humans.
things. Like, yeah, I've just just never really. I mean, I love bacon, but like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
eat a
facts.
lot of bacon. Yeah, bacon. Like, literally, me and my fiance went shopping yesterday, and I seen it was bacon with like cinnamon toast crunch like seasoning. I don't know if you've seen that shit in stores, but I was just like, I seen it, and I go, I can't lie, I grabbed it because I want to try it. You know what I mean? But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna for sure have to be in the gym the next fucking day after I eat those. But like,
Oh, facts.
but bacon, like I don't eat bacon often. I know there's a lot of people who love bacon to the point where they'll eat that shit every day. I haven't gotten to the point where like I'm eating like sauce. Like I like sausage, like a little bit. I like bacon. Those are probably the only like pork things that I like. But then, of course, I love beef. You know what I mean? Like steaks,
Yeah,
burgers, shit like that. Chicken, of course. Like what would you say
facts.
when you're thinking about like your daily like nutritional schedule? Are you eating a lot of the same stuff every single day? Like, are you the type to eat like chicken and rice Monday through Friday, or is it like chicken and rice and maybe some steak and rice? Like how like I guess what is like the more what would you say is like your best nutritional meal that you could have at any time?
There's like just like oh, slow down. There's a meal that we have at work. It's like this honey glazed chicken, some
Mm,
creamy cheesy rice with broccoli. That's one of my favorite meal that I have, and like I like eat that maybe once, no, 2 times a month. I like out of a 4 week period. I'm like, dang, that's fire. So that's probably it. Or I would get like some fish. I love fish. Or if I'm
mm.
lucky, I will get some turkey because I love turkey legs. I'm a big
Okay.
fan of turkey legs right there. Or just maybe some grilled chicken. Or if I'm very hungry, I'll go to this place called Hot Hair Burritos in town. And I would go
Mhm.
smash one of those maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday on their special days. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Because again, I also do intermittent fasting as well. So I eat like one big meal a day, and I'm good for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say something too about fasting because I know for me, like I didn't really know too much about intermittent fasting until maybe I was like out of high school or college or something. Because there's times where I wouldn't eat breakfast in the morning, and then I wouldn't eat until maybe like here in California it's like 2 o'clock right now, so I wouldn't eat until about now, and then
Okay.
it's like you would eat, and then I would be kind of cool. I would do that kind of consistently, but then as I started working on different film sets, they always have breakfast and stuff catered, and and stuff like that. Plus, sometimes I'm a very picky eater. I'm a very, very picky eater. I don't like to eat certain things, like so that also is one of my reasons for not really eating a lot of shit in the morning, depending on what it is. But um, I mean, yeah, man, the nutritional side of it is fucking tough. But it's crazy. I watched a video with this dude. I don't remember his name. I'm gonna have to link it somewhere in the YouTube or Spotify, wherever this shit will go. But like, it was a guy who I guess he calls himself the strongest person in the world. I guess it's one of them competitions where you get the dudes where they're picking up like the boulders and really
Yep.
like big fucking dudes. And this one guy, he says I forget how many calories, but he has to eat maybe like 10 or 20, even more thousand calories, like almost a fucking day or like a week or something like that. It was crazy. And this dude is
Mm-hmm.
just he's eating a bunch of different stuff, like big ass burritos. He's
Yeah.
eating just a lot of different stuff. I'm like, man, I cannot imagine going through that shit a day. Like, is there a certain amount of calories that you have to go through a day, or you just you just chill on that?
Yeah. Lord no. Like I said, I was like when I used to fight, not used to fight. When I was before this year, I was fighting around 260. Like I again like to represent Fort Wayne 260.
Yeah.
And so since then, I said, no way, we gotta do better than that. So around like now my fights, I've been fighting around 240, 243, 244. And so I've been saying maintain that weight. I
Mm,
don't really count calories or any other stuff right there. I just like, ooh, that sounds good right there. I'm gonna go eat that, smash
yeah.
that, and then relax. I'm not gonna go eat 10,000 calories. That's crazy as hell.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not doing that.
crazy as hell.
And
So
then
so
also,
yeah. No, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't I don't eat like fun fact. I cut a McDonald's out. And I don't, and I definitely cut out. I basically cut fast food out of my life. And it has
Man.
to be like something like
Yeah.
top tier restaurant, like fast food place when they go like y'all got in California. And I'm gonna go get it next week, and I'm not gonna compete. In and out. Every chance I get, I'm gonna
Uh,
stop and get some In and Out. Funny story about that actually. When I fought in Vegas, I know I'm backtracking a lot. I
yeah,
fought
no,
in
you
Vegas,
good.
right? I lost, but me and my coach had a deal. He's always kept his word with me. We had a deal back when Deontay Wilder was like back to still the champion.
Hmm.
I say, Coach, if Deontay Wilder wins his fight, trying to get me In and Out while we in Vegas, he said, deal. It was a draw. We got
Oh
In and
man.
Out, but the food was so good. He kept his word. He's a man of his word. He's always been a man of his word. That's why I love him. We missed my flight
Oh
because of
shit.
him.
Yeah. Damn.
But it was worth it though. I made sure I could
Yeah.
make two. I got two fat burgers. They were delicious. Well, we got
Yeah.
home though, but we missed the flight though.
See, In and Out, man, like I can't lie. For living here for 5 months, In and Out to me, I'm not a big fan of In and Out. I mean, it's not
Oh my
terrible.
gosh.
It's not terrible, but like there's like 1,000 better burger places out in LA compared to like there's like well, first off, have you ever had Shake Shack?
I had it one time actually, in I think Chicago.
Yeah, Shake Shack. I fucking love Shake Shack way more than In and Out. Their
Wow.
burgers are better. Their fry, first of
Wow.
all, In and Out fries. You had the fries, I'm sure. The fries is kind of ass at In and Out. They kind of
They
ass at
kind of
In and
did.
Out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like it's like you're eating a shoestring a little bit. In and In and Out. And then there's better burger spots. But in terms of like fast food, you're saying, especially in Fort Wayne, Fort Wayne has always had in Indiana, at least northeastern Indiana, had the best food in a lot of places in Indiana for sure. In Fort Wayne, the place that I really love, whenever I go back home, I always have to stop at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. I'm sure
Fire.
you know Lee's.
Oh,
You know
facts.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right
yeah.
there.
Lee's, bro. I don't like Lee's is always a place that I'm always gonna love no matter what. Like I fucking love Lee's. Um,
Facts.
but hopefully at some point. So on Sundays, then on the days that you have off, do you also use that as a cheat day, or is it just like you just kind of like how do you manage your cheat days?
Um, Sheesh. If I'm showing cheat day, I'm gonna definitely be like either on a dates or out with friends.
Yeah.
And so again, since I'm a heavyweight and I have like a large margarine, a room like to eat and then indulge in food, is I'm not really going crazy, but I am definitely like, ooh, that burger and fries right there got my name on it right there.
Yeah,
Or that
yeah,
them fish and chips right there got my name on it. But like, I feel like now that I realize I know my body, I know it's terrible to have anything fried and they gonna
yeah.
work out because you just gotta you're gonna be weak, you're gonna be slow, and you're gonna be sluggish because that fried food is nothing good for the body. Period. I'm
Mm.
like, dang, that's. I tried working out one day and I had some fried chicken. Terrible.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest and the strongest one in my gym. I got dominated that day. I said, never again.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. It's tough, man. I mean, yeah, of course, just like, yeah, that's a good point. Even the cheat days, it's like you almost kind of have to be strategic about it, I assume. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
gotta be disciplined.
Okay, so getting off of food, because now I'm getting hungry as a motherfucker over here. To get on
It is
food,
5:30 right now.
what do you do mentally to prepare for a fight? Because I like whenever I watch like the UFC or I watch boxing, I always try to figure out like what is going on through their head. So even for the people that like seem like they're very hyped up, or the people like when I looked at the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight that came out, which by the way was a very trash ass fight. Um,
Facts.
so always gonna love Mike Tyson. Fuck Jake Paul, but Mike Tyson when he walked out
Preach.
there, yeah, oh, yeah, yeah. No, that was some weird shit. But with Mike, when he walked out there, he seemed.
Locked in and
I
focused.
wonder. Yeah, he felt very locked in. He didn't have a single smile on his face. It was just the same. It was that stone cold face that he's known for. And
That
I
killer.
wonder. This is
Yes.
like I wonder what's going on through his head. Or like when I watched John Jones fight Michich the other, whatever, like the day after that, like just like you see, I wonder what goes through their heads. Like what is it like for you when you just have to mentally prepare for a fight? Like do you have any sort of rituals that you go through, or what is it?
Um, the day of the fight, I'm trying to get some fruits in my body. I know we said we're not talking about food, but I'm definitely trying to get some nutrition in my body, not trying to get nothing crazy. And then I'm
Yeah.
just like thinking about like all the hard work I've been through camp, and I think about all the negativity, all the negative words people have said to me through my life, and then I just remember all that, and then I was like, okay, that's that person that said that in my face. I'm gonna use their face on you, my opponent, and try to beat their head in.
Mm, that's real.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
real.
I try to like get to that really dark place in my head, and I try to like beat the hell out of the person that's crossing for me because in my mind, well, first of all, my mom does not want me getting hurt, and so I got to
Mm,
make sure I come back healthy and back alive and okay for her. I got to make sure because I'm pretty sure that same person is trying to do the same thing to me that I'm trying to do to them. So I got to make sure I got to come back on the winning side of the outcome because
right.
I got
Yeah.
goals and I got a family that one day I would support too. So we're both in there for the same reasons, and so I got to make sure I'm the more dominant person in there. So
Yeah.
I'm not. Yes, I'm like vibing to music, and yes, but when it's go time, that cage locked out, I'm done saying my prayers. I'm trying to kill you.
Word.
But
Like,
once the fight's over with, I'm back to being happy and cool and calm, collected.
yeah. So, well, it's interesting too, man. I feel like that mindset definitely comes in because you know how nowadays, especially with boxing, there's always like this thing to sell the fight where people talk shit to each other. You know what I mean? Like I look at Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was so infamous for just always talking shit to somebody, or like Jake Paul.
First,
Jake Paul, like even when fucking Mike Tyson slapped the shit out of him, like, like,
man,
there's always these different ways to sell a fight. Has that ever happened for you? Has there ever been like a real issue you've had with the person that you're getting ready to go up against?
not really. It's always been like the issue after I win the fight, or like after the fight. But like before the fight, nothing really that's like been like an issue or a problem or a situation that I think about it.
Yeah,
Not like no one that's like ever trying to get smart with me or like talking crazy or out of tone. But one time it wasn't my fight, but like one of my teammates, we were back in Nebraska. We almost had a bar fight. We
oh
waited at
shit.
a bar. Yeah, I was with my two of my best friends and a few other teammates at the time. And then someone said trash to one of them. I said, "This ain't gonna go down." In my mind, I'm like, dang, this is like some WWE type shit because the Shield, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
this is really about to go down like this. But all of a sudden, we all get broken up because I was like, hey, y'all ready? I'm down to throw hands right now. I'm not fighting. So let's get it to you.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, that was like the only time something like that has like ever gone down. No one's ever really talked shit to me and like never pushed me at the weigh-ins or like got out of pocket.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I always wondered, I mean, of course, as you're climbing up the level and everything like that, I've wondered like has that ever been like a thing where people are like really talking shit to each other? You know what I mean? And just more about the fight experience too. Tell me a moment like now that you've like, like you said, we'll kind of go back to like, you had the one fight that you won, then there was those moments where it was the losses, but then after that, it's been consistent wins. What has been the most memorable fight in your career so far?
Probably when I met, it was like very impressive. I was fighting in front of my one of my favorite fighters, Anthony Showtime Pettis, and I'm fighting on his fight show, which was in Milwaukee, which I'll be fighting there back in next year in March.
Mhm.
I'm yeah, I'm losing the fight. I'm in a crucifix. I'm not sure if you know what a crucifix is. It's
Okay, yeah,
basically my arm is trapped between his legs and my other arm is trapped between his arms, and he's literally throwing strikes at me. I'm like,
mhm,
dang, what do I do to get out of this fight right now? I mean, to win this and not lose before the ref calls it. I'm pretty fucking strong. I'm not sure you know this or not. I legit just do a sit up with another grown man, 260 pounds on top of me. I throw a sit up, I throw
yeah,
him off me, and I get on top. So I throw on my stuff, and then I get on foul. We get up, we scramble again, we get back to the ground. I throw the Kimura in, but also know it's the Burmore because I perfected it, and I win with that move quite a bit. And then
yeah.
we went home. We got food, and we went back. Oh yeah, we went back home. Yeah. We had a
Damn.
Friendsgiving. My coach said, Brutus, if you lose this fight right here, you are not invited to Friendsgiving, even though it was your idea. I said, okay, fine. And the crazy part is, before the fight even happened, I had this dope jacket was sitting in my backseat right now. I could not get it off my through my sleeve because I had some my MMA gloves on. It's like more of like a winter jacket, and
Yeah,
like the gloves got stuck on it. So I'm like, dang. While the song's playing right now, I'm like, dang it. My gloves won't come. I mean, my jacket won't. My hands will not get out of my jacket. So I'm
yeah.
shaking and pulling, but finally, eventually, we got it off though.
Damn, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, I can't fucking imagine like you're in that moment and it's like, because yeah, the crucifix I've seen that happen plenty of times, and them fighters be getting real fucked up, fuck around,
Yeah.
snap an arm, and like what I can't even imagine like what the fuck would be the first thought in my head. I don't know. That's something. But like, what do you think was that? Of course, that's a challenge. But what was like the toughest challenge for you though in the cage? Would you say?
Okay. I got another one for you. So, like, after that fight, I fought all around the country, and I returned back to our scrap, which was like my about 2 fights ago, actually, in the cage. I'm winning the fight. I get taken down, and then all of a sudden I get taken back down, and I get caught in a rear naked choke.
Mm,
Like all of a sudden, I hate being choked out, and I'm like in front of my hometown. Like they're like the show is built around me in my fight because it's like my
yeah,
homecoming fight back to the cage, back to the fight, and then like I'm like, dang, I get taken down, I get choked out in front of my whole family. And then I like in my head was, so I said, well, we won a great run, we got a nice like run streak, we can quit it and give it up now. And in my head, I said, no, fuck all that. We we throw this man off of me and we start throwing our ground pound and steel on him. So at that moment right there, that told me one thing. One, I'm not Superman. Do not go to work before the day before you're supposed to fight. Because one,
mm,
you ain't gonna have no proper rest, and you definitely don't eat that good too. So I was like, no, what? Never again will I
yeah,
go over to work the day before I'm supposed to fight. And so probably those 2 fights were my most memorable fights right there.
yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, like imagine that kind of goes into the ritual and just how you have to prepare yourself for the fight, just in terms of like going to work or maybe just like even if you're around certain people or people are around you, you know what I mean? It's like you want to just be in your own space, and everything. And I guess that kind of good deals good with this question too, is like like how do you deal with nerves before the fight? Because I imagine going into these fights, there is a bit of a nerve that kind of steps in a little bit in terms of like, what if this happens, or what if that happens, or what am I going to do about this or about that? Like, how do you deal with the nerves before then?
I just try to breathe because, like I said, I gotta predict. I have to control the fight. I have to control the outcome if I want to win the fight. And so I just breathe before the fight. And like one of my old coaches back in high school said, visualize yourself winning and you'll win, or visualize yourself doing great and you do great. And then my coaches now say the same thing. And so like I just visualize myself doing great things throughout the fight. And then 9 times out of 10, those things that actually do happen during the fight. And so I just want to make sure that actually happens so I can have a nice, successful, healthy victory.
Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. So getting into just more about MMA and just like the UFC and everything like that too, I wanted to kind of just like go a little bit into more of your thoughts on how things are in terms of that space now. First of all, tell me this, like who are like the fighters that have like inspired you out there, like in terms of the UFC? I'd imagine John Jones is probably a huge inspiration. I mean, John Jones is a fucking inspiration for me too. That dude be whooping everybody ass.
Indeed.
Yeah, like who are some of your favorite fighters in the UFC right now, or just in general?
So my manager Anthony Pettis, because he's the owner of my management company, he saw me. I impressed him with that when I was in that crucifix. And then John Jones, love Kamar Usman. I love Adesanya. I like Francis Ngannou. Um, Conor McGregor, he hasn't fought in a while. Charles Oliveira. Fun fact about that, actually, when I fought at Artist Crap, Charles Oliveira's teammates and coaches was there. I had no idea who they were. After I won the fight, I my coach said, "Hey, you want to take these guys back to the airport?" I said, sure." Had no idea these are Charles Oliveira's head coach and teammates in my car. I said, "This
Wow.
is outrageous. This is crazy." Did not know which people were in my car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, wait. Every time I see him on US on TV when he Charles Oliveira fights, I'm like, I know them. They were in my car. I had no
Yeah.
idea what they were, but it was pretty dope. So definitely Charles Oliveira. Um, that's pretty much the main people I fight. I look up to. And
Yeah.
funny
Yeah.
story about John Jones, I actually met him. He
Oh,
actually,
real.
my first, yeah, he invited me to come train with him before his last fight, but he got injured. His shoulder he had to need a shoulder surgery, I believe, and so I didn't get to call out to go train with him.
Oh
But
man. Yeah.
he's an amazing fighter, amazing person. And when I got to meet him, I was like, and not many times I've been starstruck, but it's been three
Mhm.
times in my life. Twice. I almost got starstruck when I met Anthony Pettis, but I met him during face-offs, and so I was like
Yeah.
locked in my opponent, so I couldn't like really like, oh my gosh, that's Anthony Pettis right there. He liked my beard, so I couldn't really
Yeah.
be like. But when I met Deontay Wilder and John Jones, were the only two times I was starstruck in my life.
Wow. That's cool as hell. Yeah. I mean, that's yeah. Meeting either one of them would be a fucking like a shock too, man. Like I can't imagine, especially John Jones, dude. That's a legend. That's a living
Literally,
legend. Deontay Wilder
literally.
definitely a legend too. He just hasn't had, at least as a fan of him, he hasn't had like the career I kind of wish he would have had, or at least a lot of people thought he would have had. You know what I mean? But
Right.
I mean that's super dope, man. Hopefully that opportunity comes too, where you're able to actually meet John Jones and train with him, like like that. And any one of those guys, fucking and Ngannou. I know Ngannou. He doesn't fight no more at all. He's like in the WWE, right? I
No,
think
no,
he.
he actually is not Bellator, but PFL heavyweight champion right now. Actually, he won
Mm,
his last fight. I think it was last month, the week or two before John Jones fought. He dominated the fight.
mm.
Yeah, ground and pound. The guy was a lot. He was bigger than him. He took him down. Ground and pound. Fight was over with.
Do you think that I forget who John Jones said he wants to fight next? Um, he called
Alex
out.
Pereira.
Oh yeah, I think it's Pereira. Him, but then there was someone else that
That was
probably
like
isn't.
the main person he wanted to fight was Alex Pereira, and then the other heavyweight who was like the interim heavyweight champion, that's who everyone wants him to fight.
Yeah, I think him and Pereira would be a good fight. I think John Jones would whip his ass, but I think that'd be a good fight. And then I know there was a little bit of like Francis Ngannou. They had a little bit of like back and forth a little bit about, trying to get him back in there to fight. But I know that he kind of has his beef with Dana White and everything too. That would be a very interesting. I don't know who would win that one. I feel like John Jones would still, but
Mm-hmm.
Ngannou's a tough ass dude, man. I don't know.
No
That'd be
facts.
tough. That'd be very tough. Who do you think had the opportunity to win that one?
I'm definitely going for the go, John Jones, because obviously John Jones is a great wrestler. He would take him down. He would use his fight IQ, which is great and top notch. He would just pick him apart from the outside, then he take him down and then submit him.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that'd be a tough one. I don't think there's anybody that's really beaten that's going to beat John Jones. I think John Jones is just going to retire a
Undefeated.
legend like that. You know what I mean? So that's crazy. What are your thoughts on boxing? I know that's a little obviously a kind of a very that's just one skill in the range of fighting, but like, what is your thoughts on boxing now, especially with Jake Paul kind of kind of taking it over a little bit and just kind of giving it a little bit of life, if we're being honest.
Um, I love boxing. That's like my hearts right there because another reason I fight because of Rocky Balboa and then
Mm,
Creed. I grew up
hmm
watching Rocky, and then like every time I see Rocky, like when they're training on TV, I'm outside like watching it and training myself, doing push-ups, shadow boxing, squats, all that good stuff. Like I fell in love with Rocky, and then now like dang, I love boxing. I grew up watching Mayweather, Tyson, Ali, and now one of our hometown heroes, well, who was born in Detroit, but from
Right. Yep.
Fort Wayne,
Frank Martin.
Frank
Frank
Martin.
Martin. Yep.
I'm a big fan
Yep.
of him. When he fought Javante Davis, I was heartbroken. I wanted to go see him
Yeah.
live in person by myself. So I took a flight out from Indianapolis to Vegas by myself to go watch him fight.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the outcome I wanted to happen, but he still fought. He fought out hard, and yeah, it was a great time. My Me and my coach, we had another deal. If he said if I won my fight in under
hmm
I think like 5 minutes or the first round, boom,
Yeah.
he'd fly me out anywhere I want to go. I said, boom, give me a ticket to see Frank Martin. He made that happen.
Yeah. No, that's
Yes.
what's up. Yeah, Frank definitely is someone, and I didn't even realize until maybe after the fight that he was born in Detroit or some shit, but obviously came out here to Fort Wayne or out there to Fort
Yes,
Wayne.
sir.
And definitely, represents Fort Wayne. I would say so to that degree. Another great fighter, another person who's kind of in that upper echelon. Once again, if people out in Fort Wayne who's doing a lot of dope shit. Yeah, boxing is interesting though. I don't know. Like I feel like boxing is, there was a while where boxing had just completely died down, and then honestly, you had fighters like Canelo kind of popping off and really adding some fire to it. I would say Ryan Garcia, even though he's fucking, he's kind of just I don't know what's up with him.
Suspended until like next year.
Yeah, you know what I mean. He's a very interesting. I actually really liked watching him fight, but then I don't know what it was after the Tank fight. That dude just became fucking crazy, like
Yeah,
legit
he
wild.
got some news, got some screws knocked off loose.
Yeah, man. I mean, and Tank, Tank is a great fighter.
He's a talent.
I watched some highlights from that him and the Frank Martin fight. I didn't actually get a chance to watch that fight. But I mean, Tank's a tough dude, and I know Tank has another fight coming up pretty soon. I don't know
Yeah,
who.
March. We both fight the same. We both fight the same month in March.
Okay, yeah. So it's like, he's definitely always a great fighter to watch. Then you got damn, how am I forget Terrence Crawford
Crawford.
is another great
Mm-hmm.
fighter, another great fighter. And then what are your thoughts on Jake Paul though, and just what he's been doing in the landscape of boxing? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't really think about Jake Paul as like, oh, there's a fight coming out. Who's he gonna pick another elderly person, or he's gonna pick another 0-0 opponent, or is he gonna pick someone who's retired from MMA, or is he gonna pick another elderly boxer? I don't really. I'm not a fan of him honestly because
Oh
he's
yeah,
like
no, no, no.
he picked one boxer he picked two boxers. One was Mike Tyson, who's 58 years old, and he fought Tyson Fury, who is actually a boxer who beat him. So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
knows what he's doing. He's trying to. I feel like all his fights are rigged. He just for like money. around his name because he sells our fights. Went to Tyson fight, he sold out. They both made at least $20 million a piece, and the fight was terrible because not only that, I feel like the fight was with us trying to watch the fight on Netflix. That was the hardest thing that happened on that TV screen that night.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Jake Paul. Don't really care for him much. Logan Paul, I like him because he's actually in the WWE. I love WWE. So yeah, Jake Paul, I'm not a fan.
Nah, definitely not. Would you take a fight with him if just somehow that just happened? You get millions
If
of
it's $20
dollars.
million, yes, I will. And I'll whoop that ass too.
There you go.
I'll retire right now. Happy man. I'm like, Mom, Dad, y'all ain't gotta work the rest no more of your life. I got you.
I'm gonna go fuck this white boy up real quick on national TV and, and keep it going.
If it's
That's what's
rigged,
up.
you might see me take a hard fall. I'm like, I'm out of here. $20 million, I'm good.
What are some misconceptions about being an MMA fighter? Like, I'm sure that you've heard different people telling you, man, I don't want to do it. They get concussions a lot, or they get hurt a lot, or this, that, and the third happens. Like, what are some misconceptions that you feel like a lot of people make about MMA fighting?
A lot of fighters put on acts like they're like really assholes. I've not met any. All the fighters I met are not assholes, and like not all of us hit women. None of us are like aggressive towards women. Yeah, we're not we're not all the same. Like what you see on TV, 9 out of 10 is an act. Like they're putting on this fake character to build their self up or build their more eyes on them. Like oh, let me see. There's a fighter. I can't think of his name right now. Sugar Sean O'Malley. I met him. There you go. I actually met him in the bathroom. I know it's weird. He was at the gym. I went to the lab at in Arizona. Nice guy. He was for some reason my cardio was not there that day. I'm in the lab. I'm getting my ass handed to me doing jiu-jitsu or wrestling. I'm like, golly, I'm getting my ass up right now. But I'm in the bathroom. He's hyping me up and telling me you're here for a reason. You're doing a great job. And it's how do you say? He said, not everyone can do this, but you're here doing it right now. And so, yeah, he's a nice guy, a great guy. So he just wasn't the fake act on TV or online. So yeah, now also the same.
No, that's real. Yeah, I mean, I haven't like I said, I haven't come across too many fighters like that. I think there's one time at a bar. This is a long time ago, but I remember it was at a bar back in Angola, and this dude, I don't even remember his fucking name, but people tried to say he was like an MMA fighter, right? But a lot of people said he wasn't really shit, and I don't even think he does it now. I don't think that's like that wasn't his career choice. But I remember one time I was out with some friends, and I think that dude's girlfriend was like, she was drunk trying to talk to a whole bunch of people, and next thing you know, the dude is like wanting to fuck around and fight my friend. And then it was this whole thing. And this dude was drunk too, obviously, you could tell. So he was kind of acting like an asshole. And I don't think that didn't make me think like, oh, damn, all fighters are assholes. You know what I mean? But because I feel like there's a lot of people that even the people like UFC fighters, there's a couple different fighters that you see out there. And it's like, they actually seem like cool ass people. They don't seem like they're just looking for a fight whenever they're not in the cage either. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't seem like that. So I would probably say, yeah, I would agree with those misconceptions. I mean, I feel like from the outside looking in, that's probably one of the first misconceptions that people think of. Like, damn, that dude's he's a fighter, so he's probably a real dickhead. We're just gonna stay away from the dude. Like, have you felt like you've gotten misconceptions about that about yourself a lot?
Yes, tremendous. Like especially when it comes to like the women, they be like, "Oh, dang, I can't date him because he might have anger issues, or he might try to put his hands on me." I'm like, "No, I'm the nicest, chillest guy in the world. I love women. I have like 5 sisters, so they definitely they would not want me doing something like that to put my hands on women." Yeah, so that's like one of my main reasons why I try to like compete, like disbarred that concession right there because like I don't hate women. I even like when I'm sparring with my teammates, I hate sparring with them because I'm like, oh no, I do have a lot of power. I can throw people, so I just choose not to do something like that outside the cage. Because one, if I dig in the fight outside the cage, I can like hurt myself or get hurt or hurt someone else, and then boom, I'm in jail or in prison. So yeah.
So going on to more about like family and friends, how has you becoming a fighter, how has that impacted like your family and like your friends? Like you just mentioned, or you mentioned before, like that your mom has not really liked seeing you fight, but maybe it's changed a little bit now, but like, how has that impacted them? Do people are they in full support of it, or are they like still genuinely like scared about just the repercussions, long term wise, like what is that? How's that impacted your family, your friends, and everything like that?
A lot of my family don't like they are supportive, but like some people don't like go to the fights. They just pray for me because they don't want me getting hurt or like see me in that type of environment, which I'm really thankful for, and I appreciate that because again, a lot of things can happen in the fight, and so I have some supporters they like watch online. I have some people like come watch like my mom. Surprisingly, she just came to my last two fights, which is like a cage fight or MMA fight. I mean, Muay Thai fight, and she's been in the last two supportive. My fight I had in Vegas, I fought in Vegas. It was her birthday, so she came and supported me out there. Yeah, so she's been very supportive in the recent years because I've been winning and I've had have some success. She does not like seeing her son lose, but she's been there and supporting, which I'm really thankful for because like not many people can say like, oh, they chose a fighter's career and they have like makes that much support because at the beginning, not many people knew who I was or like came supporting me. But again, my 8 best friends, they've all been there from the beginning and supporting me.
Yeah, but to say like all the friends have been supportive. Nobody has there been people that's tried to tell you that you shouldn't fight, that like you should reconsider, like at least in the beginning. I imagine now, like they'd be kind of wild to tell you not to fight now. You're already in it, but like back when
Right.
you first started.
My mom, she knew because I did not want to tell her I was going to fight. But one of my best friends, Jordan Downey, said, "Yeah, you should definitely tell your mom you're getting ready to go fight because like something can always happen." So I definitely told her, and I definitely told her I won. We all prayed before, and we all got the job. And we got the job done. And like before I was talking to one of my old teammates and I told him I was going to do my going pro and getting a manager. He was kind of like talking me out of it. But at the same time, he said, if you're going to do it, just make sure you go all in with it because there's like no backup plan. So,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
for sure, and absolutely. And I guess looking towards that, what do you really hope to achieve just in your fighting career, in the future of everything that you have going on? Like, what are some of the things that you hope to achieve as Jerrod Brutus Winston goes through and just continues to fuck these niggas up? Like what's the plan for you?
um, Once I'm done, and when it's all said and done, I just want to be like, dang, he was really inspirational. Like my goal, like I feel like my true purpose in life is to inspire someone and motivate people to be more than themselves and like get their best out of their life, be the best version of themselves. And when you're afraid, it's okay to be afraid when you're doing something that you love, but make sure at the same time that you don't let fear control your life. Because sometimes when I'm in a fight, like I told you earlier, my second fight, I was afraid, but I still went out there and fought. So when you're afraid, don't let the fear control your life. Just go out there, be you, do what your coaches do, and have fun.
Yeah, I mean, would
And
you
get
say
the
that?
best out of your life.
No, absolutely. Get the complete best. You know what I mean, and be able to break those barriers and just hit those goals. Like, would you say that getting into the UFC, which is kind of like the ultimate fighting championship, right? Like, is that like your
Yes,
goal? Do you want to hop in there? Do you want to be a part of the
I
UFC?
definitely do.
Yeah.
They're gonna be okay. I have not told many people about this. I'm not sure when it's going to air, but you can get an insider right now. Towards the end of the next year, I will be on Dana White Contender Series.
Oh wow.
Yes. So
Congratulations.
yeah,
That's dope.
thank you, appreciate it. So yeah, you're the first person outside of my coach and my family that knows that. So my goal next year is to have 3 fights, win those. 2 of those will be title fights, and then get the call to go Dana White Contender Series and go win that.
Wow, that'll be really, that'll be huge, man. I mean, of course, and it's just great too because getting that opportunity and just knowing what's ahead, like that's literally like a real kind of like looking through the peeping glass of like what the future, holds for you in the next 4 to 5 years, really, and just how you can continue to kind of build it up, and that's definitely huge. So one question I wanted to ask too, this is a little bit away from these groups of questions I'm asking now, but like, what is okay, so there's the Lee brothers, the Fight Lab, all that. Like, what is the market like for MMA or any other kind of fighting sports, combat sports, like in Fort Wayne specifically? Like, is it bigger than what people think there, or is it still pretty contained for the most part?
It's still pretty contained because it's like three gyms in Fort Wayne, but only 2 of those gyms are MMA gyms, which is the Fight Lab. There's Sudden Impact, and I think it's like Gracie Jiu Jitsu, I think it is, and or the Fort Wayne Wrestling. So not many MMA gyms, but there's a bunch of like gyms. But it's like my gym is different because it's like a whole family, it's a whole culture. Everything's pretty well put together. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So when it comes, so my gym is we have strength conditioning, we have jiu-jitsu, we have boxing, we have Muay Thai. And we also have kids classes as well. So our gym is like, it's a whole structured gym put together for one whole big happy family, if you will.
Yeah.
Everybody says.
Yeah. Like, what do you feel like you'd want to stay in Fort Wayne for a while, or do you have any plans of maybe relocating for a minute, or do you feel like it's important to be there and to represent there how you do already? You know what I mean? Like, what is that like for you? Like, do you feel like you should move, or do you feel like that's in any plans?
I know some people say like you should like go out and move and like relocate, but I feel like I want to be that beacon of light. And for when that you don't say like you don't have to move to like still be in touch with your people. Like, yes, I will like relocate my location right now, but I would still be in Fort Wayne. Like, yes, I will still see me with my same coaches, my day one coaches I've been starting when I did this with, and then I would just probably relocate into a different part of the city, somewhere like low key. Like I won't be flashy, but I will still be out and about in the city, low key. There we go.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's big. I mean, especially just because, at least for me in my situation, like back in Angola and Fort Wayne, the film industry was definitely not prevalent in those places. Like, so it's
Right.
just like I had to move, But at the same time, I do go back to Angola, go back to Fort Wayne fairly often, at least 3 times a year. Go back to Indiana and just one, see family, and then sometimes a lot of times doing work, out there, like shooting commercials and stuff like that. But that's good to know. It's good to have, like, for you to be there, and also just continue to build like that fan base too, really. You know what I mean? And of course,
Literally.
people see what you're doing back home, and it builds up. You have like a solid support system, like, back home. So no matter where you go, even like you going out to Vegas or Nebraska and fighting, you're gonna get those fans there after you whoop whoever's ass over there, and still have it's like you're picking up different fans and different supporters along the way. Um, so that's pretty cool. What do you see? First off, like, is there any? I got 2 questions for you before we get to our last. Who is there any fighter in the future that you would like to face, whether they are in the UFC or there's somebody that's kind of along that path that you're heading on now, who's maybe in the same caliber as you are right at this moment? Is there anybody that you want to face?
Maybe his name is Josh Bennett. I think I'm saying his name correctly. He's in the UFC. He's a heavyweight fighter. He's shorter but round set heavy fella. I feel like he brings a lot of energy to his fights. He's very energetic. He does front flips, does cartwheels, like I can do as well. I'm like, damn, we both heavyweights. We can both do that at the same time. So I feel like that would be a fun, entertaining fight right there for him and I.
Okay. And then last question before this last question. What do you think you see yourself doing in your life after fighting? What do you think? What does that look like for you? Is it continuing to, of course, inspire, but like what in what way? How would you want to do it? What do you almost see your life being like after that?
Um, being with working with special needs people and being with the elderly has definitely had opened my eyes to different options on what I want to do with my life afterwards. I believe I want to be like a also a chef because I love cooking as well.
Mm-hmm.
But probably as well as a personal trainer with special needs people.
Mm.
Like people who's like, I don't know, who injured themselves or just want to rehabilitate themselves
Mm-hmm.
or just be motivated during like workouts, like something like that. Because like when I'm working out, when I'm training people, I'm motivating them the whole time. Even when they think they can't get that extra push, I'm still trying to push them. When they're out of gas, I'm still like, hey, remember why we started this right here. So I'm like, maybe that right there. And also, I always like, I'm a big kid, right? We have Sky Zone out here.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved going to Sky Zone, and I've like always loved watching American Ninja Warrior. So like,
Oh yeah.
I want to have like a big fun zone or foam dome with some like that type of energy into one place.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That would definitely be dope for Fort Wayne to have like some sort of like obstacles like that, for American Ninja Warrior. They actually have, I want to say, I don't know if it's in Vegas or maybe it's somewhere out here in California, but they have something like that, but like, not like super competitive, like on TV type shit. Like it's just a
Right.
fun, different kind of activity that people do.
Nice.
That's really dope. So that would actually be super cool, man. And I think to go back to, I think one of the most important points that you said is you cooking and then also you being around like elderly folks and stuff like first of all, like as a film director, as a writer, that already screams like a story to me. Like that's a
Better.
story of like being a fighter and this taking care of these elderly people where you have to be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more calm, a little bit more slower at their pace. But then the other side is like, okay, you whooping motherfuckers' asses, and it's
Yes,
just
sir.
like it's funny. So to me that's a story right there that I think is it melds together two different worlds really. That I think is very interesting. So I don't know. We might have to collaborate on some shit
Let's go.
because that's definitely a story.
Hey,
And then
during the day I'm a cook, and at nighttime I'm a professional fighter.
it's crazy, man. I mean, that the duality of man, right there.
That's right.
Um, Last question. This is the question I ask everybody on the pod: is what would you tell your younger self? Uh, what would you tell your younger self, the person who was getting ready to, planning on doing stuff with his football career, but then had the concussion, and then finally was just, trying to figure out, well, what is the next plan? And then the very first moment where you hear about fighting and you go into that first fight, what would you tell your younger self now that you're the person who you are? You've been on a streak of just whooping, fucking people up, and you're not only that, but you have a great opportunity ahead in your future. What would be your message to your younger self? What would be your message to that man, that boy?
Um, Not to be cliche or anything, but I was telling him never to give up. Always have faith in in yourself and no matter in everything you do, because there's gonna be obstacles in the way. There's gonna be curveballs in the way, but you just gotta trust the process and just keep tunnel vision, keep moving forward, because you never know when a blessing's gonna come out of nowhere and be presented to you. So yeah, just keep your head up high, never give up, and always have faith in yourself and in the Lord.
Yeah, real for real. That's beautiful, man. Jerrod Brutus Winston.
Thank you.
Where can people find you on social media, man? Where can people check you out, check your fights out? Where on social media can we hit you up at?
Instagram, you can find me on WK Brutus. TikTok, my name Brutus. Facebook, Jerrod Brutus Winston. My fights, again, YouTube, Jerrod Brutus Winston. My UFC Fight Pass fights will not be on there because you got to pay for those ones. But other than that, I'm all over the place.
Oh yeah, man. That's great, man. Bro, I really appreciate you being here on the pod. If anybody wants to fucking, you know what I'm if anybody wants to fuck around and try to fight Jerrod, don't do it. Just chill out. Matter of fact, this last kind of question, this one's just funny because I always think about this when I think about when I think about like situations where people don't realize, like say like a bar, right? Say someone's at a bar and they like accidentally fucking bump into you, or they're drunk and they don't realize, like, oh shit, like I'm fucking with a damn actual professional fighter who will fuck around and fuck some shit up. Has that ever happened? Like has it ever been like this? Some people just kind of, you know, they get a little slick with their words and they don't realize, like, is there a moment where you feel like you have to maybe be like, you know what? I'm not giving him a pass, but it's like, dude, you don't understand. Like, I'll fuck you up. Has there been moments where you got to kind of read, like, almost figure some shit out in your head first before you take action?
Yeah, it was like I want to say it was probably like artist crap, either 2 or 3. I'm on a date to watch my teammates fight, and this drunk, obnoxious dude. I'm like, listen, dude, you got to chill. And then, like I said it one more time, I said, dude, chill the fuck out before I lose my cool. And he calmed down because he was spilling beer on me and my date, and I almost lost my shit. And I was like, damn it, it's a cop right there. I got to calm down because I'm about to check this whole arena. Because Artist Crap is at the college, the Memorial Coliseum, which, you know, obviously our biggest arena in Fort Wayne. Yeah. And so if I shoot the whole room, I'm going to jail. So they had the sheriff, they had security. I'm like, damn, I need to calm down, but I need to calm this man down before he ruins my night, my day. That was my last night before I went to Arizona out there. So yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that see, like, people gotta check it, man. I'm saying people gotta do some research, man. I mean, of course, not everybody can. Some people are gonna run. Everybody's gonna run into somebody who they're not gonna know.
They want to fuck around and find out.
Yeah, you know. So that would have been something. But yo, Jerrod Brutus, thank you, brother, for being here on the podcast.
Thank you. It's been my blessing.
And thank you to everybody who's listening and watching on YouTube and Spotify, Apple, everybody. You guys can make sure to go follow my guy, Jerrod. And yeah, guys, be on the lookout for more pods, more vlogs. And Jerrod, like I said, brother, hope outside of just this conversation, there can be a more of a collaboration in some sort of way. Like I said, I always support my people from Fort Wayne, especially people I see doing amazing and excellent things. You know, so thank you, brother, for being here.
Thank you. It's been a blessing.
Salute, my guy. Absolutely.